Did you watch the?
Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling, but there's one thing.
Welcome to Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. This is Irish Bill with Seminole Bob.
Hello there.
It's raining. That's the song from B.J. Thomas, Raindrops Keep Falling on Her Head.
Yeah, it was more than raindrops. We had some boom booms tonight.
We did lose the power here about 10 minutes before we came on the air, but it flickered and it came right back on. Great generator here at Culver's of Navarre. This is week 2. You know what's different from this week and last week? Well, other than the rain and the weather.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No score.
None.
None. After 2 weeks, the Raiders have been shut out 68-0.
Wow.
Only the second time that I've gone back through the records books. Only the second time, and this is the first time since 2008 that the Raiders got shut out in back-to-back weeks.
And the common denominator,
Choctaw.
Choctaw,
was on the back end of both of them. Fort Walton Beach was the first one in 2008. Catholic, the one here in 2024. But neither one's a district game, Bob. No district games, so the Raiders are still 0-0 in District 1.
That's all that matters. It's not how many games, it's which games.
Most definitely. Thanks, Joe, for setting in. Deborah Broxton's checking in, says, nice song. I love me some B.J. Thomas. And on Air Force Bill, I said, I knew you'd like the outfit tonight, Joe. I had to go a little different tonight. I ordered this one just last week, just so that I had something to match my hat.
Okay, looks good.
That Brady got me last year.
Air Force.
40 years.
Not alum, but what do you call it? Veteran. That's
Veteran?
It.
Yeah. Almost 40 years. When
Thank you for your service.
When I retire in March, it will be 40 years combined between active duty and civilian life. And it will be about time. And for those that don't know, 31 March 25, I'm stepping down from my paying gig, and I'm going to retire, become a almost a full-time papa, helping out with my daughter with the grandkids. And
that's a full-time job.
It is, and then I'll be hopefully might be doing a little bit more broadcasting as well.
I'm game.
I'm thinking about possibly maybe doing some softball.
Okay.
In the spring, and
can we say, hey, bada, swing, bada?
I don't know if we can do that on the air.
Okay.
Might not go over very well. Only to the opposing team.
What movie was that? Was that Sandlot? No, that was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's right.
And you can always go back to Bad News Bears, too. I love that movie. But this is week 2 of Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. Like I said, Seminole Bob, Irish Bill. We're going to do a recap of last Friday night's game for the Raiders against Choctaw. We're going to go over our Panhandle Power Rankings and tell you who's still sitting where. And if we've had any changes, I can tell you right now there was not many changes from last week to this week. Our players of the week are all different, and we'll announce those tonight as well. We'll go over our high school predictions tonight. I'll be getting Paul's in the morning, as long as he's not. Well, you know Paul. Paul's going to pick his own direction, whether what we say or not. So I'll get Paul's picks in the morning. Joe's college picks will be coming my way in the morning, and I think he sent me his high school picks for tonight, so we'll get those in tonight. Actually, he sent me the college picks. I'm still waiting for it. Oh, no.
Ask and you shall receive.
Joe is all over it. Katie Hoffman checking in. Hey, Katie. Thank you for checking in to Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. I want to thank Randy and Honey Smith for allowing us to come. I think this is year 8 or 9. I think it's 9 for me here.
Crazy.
How long they've been open. Well, Brady's, before he went off to college, this was his very first job, was here at Culver's. And when he came back in the summer, he actually worked here that first year. So I was thinking it's about 2016 that they opened here.
Yeah.
So this would be my 8th or 9th year, whichever. I lost track because it all just kind of blends together after a while, doesn't it, Bob?
It does.
Then we're going to talk. We're going to wait to do our college picks tomorrow night.
Yep. Unfortunately, I will not be on the air. It's contract time negotiations. I'm on the Walton County Teachers Union negotiating.
Work takes precedence.
So it starts at 4:30, and just don't think I can make it back in time. So Mr. Clean, Paul Villanova, the voice of the Raiders.
A.K.A. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. The voice of the Raiders when you get to the stadium announcer.
Does a heck of a job.
He's been doing it for 2 or 3 years now. Does it really a tremendous job. He's going to pinch hit for me. Hopefully it will not be Wally Pipp. And
no. You're not going anywhere, Bob. You can't get away that easy.
Every now and then I got to, do stuff. So my apologies. And Bill's got
what
my
that stuff is,
picks.
we don't know, but we're going to let him do it anyways.
I appreciate that. But you'll be in very capable hands. Paul's Mr. Smooth.
We'll bring Paul onto this.
He's Mr. Smooth.
Now introducing from Boston, Mass., a.k.a. Tom Brady, Paul Villanova.
Villanova. You got to have the echo.
Echo. But anyways, we got another great show tonight. We're also going to go over where our former Raiders are, where they're currently playing. We had limited action in the Gulf South Conference. A lot of action in the SIAC Week 1. And then we're going to finish it off. I can about guarantee where Bob's going to go tonight on your rant.
Ooh.
Am I off base by saying the outcome of last night's game might be a part of your rant tonight?
Yeah, you're right. That's my subject.
But Coach Bagley still looking for that first win. He's 0-2 on the season. He is the 6th coach in Navarre history. Mm-hmm. Kenny Hughes lasted 1 year in 1998. He was 4-5. 99 to 2001 was Danny Williams. He went 12-18.
Right.
2002 to 2007, Larry Olson. He's the one that got basically the Raider program on the map.
Got him on the map, yeah.
Their first 2 playoff appearances. He went 30-29. 2008 to 2011, Chad Lashley. He went 22-21. Got to see Chad in Week 1 as he's assistant coach out at Catholic. It's good to see him getting back into coaching with his youngest son,
volunteer
Kevin.
Assistant. He's still running his family business. His son, I
what
think,
is the business?
Yeah. His son, I think, plays on Catholic team. And
he had a good game last week. He had 13 tackles.
Now, I forget, was Chad more of an offensive person or a defensive person?
I'm trying to think back.
Or was he a CEO and just delegated?
I'm going to have to ask them that the next time. Maybe if he's watching it, hey, Chad, call in. Our number here is 850-684-8802. You can actually get in if you have a question or you just want to comment about anything going on in high school and college sports. We'll take your phone call. Joe Setta was our first call in last week. In fact, he's been our only call in, and I wouldn't be surprised that Joe calls in again tonight. Then we finish up Jay Walls, 12 years, 102-33. He's the all-time leader, 7 district titles, 2 region titles, 2 semi-state appearances. He went on to the other pastures up into Georgia, getting a little bit more of the mighty dollar, I believe, and getting closer to retirement. And what a great job he did at the helm at Navarre.
Yep.
Well, let's talk a little bit about last week's game, Bob. Choctaw takes a 35-0 victory. They scored on a 3-yard run by Von Keller. What a back that kid's only a sophomore. Sam King hasn't missed an extra point on the season yet. That kid's solid from the left side, that booming left leg. That was the first quarter score, 7-0. The second quarter at 10:08, a 15-yard run. Keller's second touchdown of the night. King kick. At 1:05, a 2-yard pass from Carter Morocco to Ryan Burke. King kick as well. Halftime score 21-0. There was no scoring in the third quarter. And then 2 final touchdowns for Choctaw. A 22-yard run on a nice run pass option by Carter Morocco. And King added the extra point, and they finished off the score, which I was a little surprised that they were still passing the ball with a 28-0 lead.
I mean, it was fourth quarter, under 9 minutes. You had, some of your reserves in. Morocco was still in there, but
it was 2016. Thank you, Katie, for verifying that Culver's opened in 2016. But a 55-yard pass from Morocco to Aaron Roll. King put the final point on the board, 35-0, ensuing the running clock. Not much passing in this game, as Roman Marshall went 4 for 8. The first 4 passes he's completed in a 24 season for 27 yards. 3 of those went to Andre Spence. Choctaw passing Carter Morocco 3 of 9 for 60 yards, but 2 of those 3 went for scores. Navarre rushing, much better effort on the rushing end for the Raiders in this game. Andre Spence finished the night with 22 carries, 92 yards. Vinny Villanova, 5 carries, 13. And Jordan Gardner had 1 carry for 1 yard. Choctaw, 24 carries, 208 yards, 3 touchdowns. Von Keller, 18 carries for 166 yards. He's got 409 yards rushing after 2 games. Carter Morocco, 3 carries for 40 and a score. Alante Reese, 2 carries for 4. Receiving end, Andre Spence, 3 for 21. Jacob Crowder, 1 for 6. I think they need to involve the tight ends a little bit more in this short game passing, because both Jack Helton and Jacob Crowder have solid hands. They're not going to drop the ball. You get the ball to them, short passes, short dump passes, hit Andre Spence out of the backfield.
Well, what was a little alarming is Choctaw was getting penetration, and Navarre was using a 6-man offensive line for most of the game, not necessarily including the tight ends. They brought in an extra offensive lineman.
Shakari Thomas moved over the offensive side of the ball. And they still had trouble protecting the QB.
Yeah, and so they have to mix it up, because at times Navarre seemed predictable, and you can't have that. Choctaw was walking up their linebackers and corners and rolling them up, and I don't care how many people you put on the line, when you get like that and too predictable. So that's like, I agree with you, Bill, the check downs to the tight end or to the running back would be something that would slow them down and at least keep the linebackers and corners honest, whether we're playing Catholic, Choctaw, or whoever. And our next opponent in 2 weeks, Thursday night game against the Mosley Dolphins.
Well, we will get Josh Wilson back next Thursday. He'll be back there sharing the backfield. And I'd like to see a little bit more of Curtis Sanders out of the backfield. He ran the ball as well as he could against Catholic. Probably one of the best options we had on that opening night game. Let's go over to Choctaw's receiving. Aaron Roll led the team with 1 reception, 55 yards and a score. Ryan Burks won. And once again, Sam King was perfect on the night, 5 for 5, and he is 9 for 9 on the season and 1 for 1 on field goal attempts. But that's your wrap up. We're still waiting for to get the statistics from the coaching staff, so that's why I'm unable to give you defensive statistics tonight. But the Raiders will be off this Friday night. Probably a good time to take off, Bob.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be playing a pass-happy Mosley team.
Averaging 53 points a game as well through the first 2 games. Yes, against some lighter competition in Bay and Rutherford, which are not known.
Right. Yeah.
They had down seasons last year. In fact, all of Bay County, the majority, other than Mosley and Bozeman, had kind of off seasons last year. Arnold, they put up 47 this past week, but you got to look at possibly who they were playing in that game as well in Hamilton County. And speaking of those games from last week, let's go over those right now, Bob.
Okay.
We had 6 Thursday night games, which is kind of a high amount. I hear one of the reasons that they're doing this is because there is a shortage of officials. And so what they're doing is they're having to move more games to Thursday night. And so 16 games. Pensacola got their first win since 2022 as they took out Milton 16-7. Bluntstown in 3 overtimes beat Rutherford 27-21. Jay all over Freeport 34-6. Seminole County, Georgia over Sneads 38-14. Providence School out of Jacksonville over St. John Paul II 35-18. Jefferson County, which I thought was kind of an upset, over Lighthouse PCA 23-22. They had to take that long road over to Monticello.
Jefferson County, they're in the rural. They're in the rural, and Lighthouse is in the S.
They're in the SSAC.
Yeah. Basically, Lighthouse would be classified if they were in Florida high school activity. If they were in,
they would probably be a
rural,
not either a rural or Class 1A. But if they were 1A, they would be doing a lot of traveling because there is no 1-8 schools west of I-75.
Yeah.
So they would be doing a lot of traveling, even more than what they
probably
did this past
why
week.
they joined what they did.
Okay, we're going to go to that was our Thursday night lineup. 30 August, Friday night. Niceville easily over Escambia, 42-21. Catholic over Pace, 34-20. Mosley over Bay, 53-15. Tate over Gulf Breeze, 41-0. That kind of surprised me a little bit that Gulf Breeze didn't get on the scoreboard. Not that Tate put up 41 because that's a solid team. Crestview in a tight one over Walton, 28-21. Fort Walton Beach scores late, 9-7 win late in the thirds to take a 9-7 victory over South Walton. Daphne all over Pine Forest, 34-7. West Florida over Booker T. Washington in an overtime game, 34-33. Lincoln, not a surprise that they beat Madison County, but that they beat them at Boot Hill. 29-7.
Yeah.
Godby all over Leon, 59-7. Rickards over Eastside, 30-23. Rickards goes 2-0. Thomas Central Catholic all over Florida High, 63-28. Florida High starts out 0-2. North Florida Christian in a low-scoring game, 10-2 over North Bay Haven. Taylor County, a surprise game to me. I don't know if Wacola's down this year, or Taylor County's up. Maybe it's a combination of both. 27-20 as Taylor County beats Wacola. McClay all over Brookwood, Georgia, 42-17. Arnold over Hamilton County, 47-14. Childs over Pelham, 55-27. Baker in the tight one over Destin at home, 26-21. Op Alabama, 34. Northview, 7. Holmes County, 44. Port St. Joe, 36. Gadsden County goes up to Niceville and knocks off the highly touted McCallie, Tennessee, 27-23. They go to 2-0 on this season. JU Blackshear all over Central in their inaugural game at Central, 44-6. Chipley over Linden, Alabama, 24-18. Cottondale over FAMU, 56-14. Marianne over Liberty County, 35-0. And they are put 85 points up on the board in their first 2 games. Bozeman gets in the win column with the 41-3 win over Vernon. Brantford over Weewaw 28-14, and now Osceola Christian 33, Patola Christian 12. We're going to take our first commercial break here watching Irish Bill's Twist on Sports from Culver's of Navarre, and we will be right back after this commercial break.
To everyone who loves Culver's, the feeling is mutual. I'm Nicole from Culver's of Cross Plains, Wisconsin. And when I'm serving you a Butterburger, I'm just as happy as you are. I almost get giddy when I hear the sizzle of our fresh beef on the grill. Seeing that smile that comes from a meal made just right, some call it magic, but I like to call it love at first bite. Stop in for a cook-to-order Butterburger and let us make Culver's your happy place.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Navarre Fitness is where old school meets new. Whether you're into free weights or the latest and greatest weightlifting equipment, they will meet your needs. They have cardio machines as well if you want to get your sweat on. Whatever direction you decide to go, trainers Clay Horton, Brick Grubbs, Andrew Coase, and Stephanie Hunt will be there to assist you along the way. So what are you waiting for? Oh yeah, how do I join? Just go to navarrefitness.net and check out our rates or call us at 850-816-5434. You can even stop by our location at 8700B Navarre Parkway in Navarre. You can also visit our sister gym, Midway Fitness, at 5660 Gulf Breeze Parkway, Unit 1. Both facilities are open 24/7. We are the place to go to get you started on the road to a better you. University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. A buying, building, or refinancing a dream home is in your future. You need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes, Stacy Wright, and Sheila Billingham are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or refinancing experiences smooth. So University Lending at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call us at 850-396-0322.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire the right person. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills with the right jobs from the production floor to the front office. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
The Hustle isn't named after anyone, not after a designer, definitely not after a mythological god. It's not about stripes or ranking or status. The Hustle is real. The Hustle is about you. So keep in mind when you're repping and rocking Hustle Hard USA streetwear, you can tell all the onlookers that this mark, this brand represents your hustle, your grind. You put in that time, that sweat, that pain. Now it's up to you to show them all what you got. Win or lose, the hustle is real. Go to www.hustlehardusa.com and I can guarantee you will not be disappointed. Great teams have great support. The Navarre Raiders have one of the best support organizations, the Navarre Raider Quarterback Club. All the members see to it that the Raiders have all available necessities to keep the Raiders on track. Well, they're seeing to it that they are properly fed, have good transportation, or making sure that all Raider fans can hear all the exciting Navarre Raider football action. The Navarre Raider Quarterback Club is there to make it happen. Thanks, Navarre Raider Quarterback Club, for your support of your winning Navarre Raiders on IrishBillSports.com.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let our team member Sandy share how Culver's is serving up Celebration by the Scoop.
Our rich and creamy fresh frozen custard makes every day a little bit sweeter. Enjoying a handcrafted treat with all the ooey gooey toppings you love? Now that's worth celebrating.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a sweet treat to make every moment count. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back to Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. This is Irish Bill with the good-looking guy over here, Seminole Bob. Yeah. Right here. Anyways, we're having a
you.
little bit of internet issues. I think it might be due to the weather that's going on outside of here. Luckily, it's not inside. But let's move on to segment 2. And here's our Irish Bill Super 7 Panhandle Power Rankings after week 2. Not many changes here. Niceville stays number 1 at 2-0. Choctaw 2-0. Mosley up to number. Actually, they stay at number 3. Tate moves up to number 4 at 2-0. Escambia drops to 5, 1-1. Pine Forest 1-1, and Pace 1-1. Your small schools: Catholic 2-0, Chipley 2-0, Mariana, Holmes County, Baker. Jay comes into the small after 2 solid victories to start the season. Bluntstown in at number 7. And now it's time for our Players of the Week. Your offensive player from the Tate Aggies, Christian Neptune. Wide receiver, our defensive player of the game of the week, Catholic Crusader Vaughn Howard. And our special teams player of the week from Niceville, Logan Karwacki, 6 for 6 last week. And they are our special teams player of the week, our defensive player of the week, and our offensive player of the week. No repeats this week, Bob. And it's good to see we get some solid performances each week to choose from.
Well, I mean, we have such great performances to choose from this past week. A lot of high-scoring games and the like, both here and the Panhandle and the Big Bend area. So,
and most definitely, Tate's wide receiver Christian Neptune, he hauled in 5 receptions for 141 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the Aggies 41-0 win over Gulf Breeze. Catholic's Vaughn Howard, linebacker, produced 14 tackles and 3 tackles for loss. And the Crusaders 34-20 win over Pace. And we already talked about what Logan did for Niceville, 6 for 6 on extra points on the season. We had other great performances. Mosley's Sammy Freitas. We're getting used to him being on our scope every week, Bob.
Right.
Walton's Wells Benthausen was our offensive player of the week last week, and they lost another tough game, off to 0-2 start. But Tate Davis, he's creating a name for himself out there in Gonzales, Cantonment area. He had 13 for 20, 219 yards and 4 touchdowns.
We'll see him later in the year.
Other wide receivers, Holmes County's Egan Seegers, 5 receptions, 126 yards, 3 scores. And Bozeman's Lakota Johnson, 6 receptions, 112 yards, and 2 TDs. Running back that we got to see in the kickoff classic, A.J. Floyd from Pensacola High. Strapping young lad there. 23 carries, 186 yards against Milton last week. Bluntstown's K.N. Martin, 36 carries, 185. 36 carries, that's a lot of carries for a high school kid. Choctaw's Von Keller, we got to see up close and personal last week. I wish we wouldn't have. But for the second straight week, James Youngblood from Jay, 30 carries, 159 yards, and 3 scores. And
how did Connor?
No offensive stats were posted on Niceville, and I was unable to obtain any stats from last week for Niceville on any side of the ball. I just went on Twitter and got the stats for Mr. Logan. That's how I figured out his stats. And then our defensive Catholic had 5 guys with multiple double-digit tackles. Gavin Lashley, Caleb Johnson, Noah Hamlin, and Nigel Nelson. Bluntstown's Jamarian Ingram with 11 tackles. Mosley, Sawyer Schultz, and Locavian Jackson with 10 each. Bozeman's Braden Spence with 10, and Holmes County's Aiden Justice with 10. And Bluntstown's Tristan King. So both kickers on my list this week have the last name King. Sam King and Tristan King were both perfect. 5 for 5 for Sam, 3 for 3 for Tristan. Well, Bob, it's that time of the week.
Woo, baby.
As we move over to our high school picks for the week, I got to pull up Joe's here real quick. Well, I don't do anything quick anymore. But let's pull up Joe's picks here. We're going to go with the high school picks. We will get Paul's tomorrow. So if you're listening, Paul, close your ears right now. Not that he would listen to us anyways. Paul's his own guy. Okay, our first game of the week, a Thursday night game. St. John Paul II off to a slow start. And you do not want to play this opponent when you're off to a slow start as they go to Lincoln on Thursday night. It's also the first night of the NFL season as I believe the Chiefs and the Ravens are playing.
Right.
It's going to be Lincoln for all three of us. You took Lincoln as well.
Yep.
Let's move to Friday night. One of the best games of the week. Crestview off to a 2-0 start. They're heading to Choctaw to take on the Indians at 2-0 as well. Bob and I are going with the home team in this one in Choctaw, and Joe is going to join us taking Choctaw as well. But before we move on anymore, our winner last week, the Pick Wizard, was back at it again. You can never hold a good man down for too long. Joe went 29-5. He did his homework last week.
What's that?
He did his homework last week. He went 29-5. Paul went through 2 weeks. Joe 47-15. Paul 45-17. Bob 43-19. And your swallow dweller right here 40-22. So I'm already 7 games behind Joe after 2 weeks. You never want to get too far behind the Pick Wizard in high school picks.
No, not at all. Not like the White Sox.
You had to go there. And I'm sorry, I got chastised a little bit when I got home the other night when I was talking about my White Sox and what kind of sandwich they were. And the wife was like, no, Bill.
Bill's a White Sox
producer.
fan.
I am a White Sox fan. And last year, in fact, the last couple of years, last year we had 100 losses. This year we passed that 8 games ago, and we still got 20-some games to go in the season. So right now they are dead on track for breaking the all-time loss